Hey everybody, welcome back to Tully Television. Here we go with the shirt, the merch, baby. Gonna leave a link down below to the site Bonfire where you can get this very merch I'm wearing today. The prices range between $19.99 and $24.99. Comes in a couple different cuts and color styles for your preference. No pressure, but take a look at the link down below to get your own Tully Television shirt. I also want to thank you guys for subscribing, commenting, liking, hitting all on that notification bell. It means a lot to me. We're gradually growing. We're up to 34 subscribers. We're heading up there. Let's continue to grow our community, and it's only because of you guys that we can do that. So let's, like I said, share and comment, and let's get into my review and thoughts about Falcon and the Wintersolider episode 5. It started off with John Walker basically running into an abandoned factory after the killing of the flagsmasher Nico. He's going through some trial in his head of the words of Battlestar going through his head about playing it safe, and if he would have played it safe, he would have still been alive at that very moment. But his zest, his zeal to capture Carly and the rest of the Flag Smashers cost Battlestar Lamar his life, and you can see he's really. He does have some subtext. It's not always about he's losing his way. We're seeing a man lose his way, and then we see Falcon and Wintersolider basically catch up with him and find him in the factory, in the abandoned factory, whatever, and you see John basically like switching off and switching on, going, alright, back to work. Even though we were just seeing him have like an emotional breakdown over the death of what we can only assume is his best friend. And to shrug it off in the matter of, at that point, 20 minutes, like in their time. Yeah, figured it happened about 20 minutes ago. And you're already like shrugging it off. He's thinking that Bucky and Sam are there to like, let's just keep doing this, let's just keep getting them, and it's like Sam is like, no, you need to hand the shield over. And that didn't go too well, and we basically had a variation of the 2 versus 1 fight in Civil War, where it was Iron Man fighting Bucky and Steve. In this one, it was John Walker, Captain America, fighting against Falcon and Bucky, and they were some pretty good double team moves. You seen everyone have a bite of the shield action, so to speak. Throughout the fight scene. A couple cool scenes that struck me in the fight scene was how quick John is becoming acclimated to the super soldier serum, and he knocked Bucky like across the way, basically almost short-circuiting his arm, because you see like electrical pulses go through the arm. You see Falcon grapple hook the shield at one point to try to pull it out away, and that didn't work too well. And at one point, we've seen John get ready to do the shield move on Sam, and Bucky happens to come back to at that time and tackles John, and finally they do this one move where Bucky, I forget who, I think it was Bucky that threw John swung John like a baseball bat into Sam's harness, I think, or someone swung John like a baseball bat into the other person, knocked him down, and finally they were able to they were both able to pin him down, and as they were trying to pull the shield away, they had John's arm was against something behind here, and they kept pulling, until finally they broke his arm in a pretty, they broke his arm. It was a spaghetti arm at that point. We then, let's see here, we get into then, basically then, when they do that, Bucky picks up the shield and lays it next to Sam's side. Now, they're don't give it away next time, please. And he decides to take it to Isaiah Bradley's house, as Bucky was going to go look for Zemo. Torres, at one point in the fight, Falcon's wings got pulled off of the harness, and Torres, his army contact buddy, asked if he was going to take the wings, and he was like, I don't want him, basically saying he doesn't want him anymore, and took the shield with him. And like I said, Bucky went to go find Zemo. So there's some speculation that there's a character in the comics, Torres, that did become Falcon at one point. So maybe maybe that's gonna happen. There's speculation on that. I wouldn't mind it so much. I do like the character Torres. Nothing stands out to me as him being a great character. He's serviceable as an actor. He's doing well. But I think, let's see what happens if they do make him Falcon. That might be an interesting way of really getting him in to more screen time. But like I said, Sam decides to bring Isaiah Bradley the shield. When he shows up, the grandson is kind of what are you doing here? And tells him he wants to talk to the grandfather. He lets him know where he's at, and they sit in the backyard in the kitchen discussing more in depth Isaiah Bradley's backstory of how they tested him and a bunch of people, and that all of them slowly died, and then at one point some of them were captured by the enemy, and Isaiah Bradley went to go save them because he heard the higher-ups talk about bombing the POW camp, and to cover the evidence of the science experiments. But Isaiah Bradley was like, they're not experiments, they're my compatriots, my compadres, and I had to go save them. And that was what locked him up in jail for 30 years, and then people experimenting on him from SHIELD, from Hydra, from whatever other military branches out there, maybe Department H from Canada, maybe the Weapon X program, Thunderbolt Ross and stuff. So supposedly there was this nurse who took pity on him after decades of torture and wrote up some reports that he died, and allowed him to escape into real life and start a family of his own, where he's currently living now. I'm not sure where his grandson's parents are at, It seems like it's just Isaiah and the grandson that lives there. We haven't seen any son or daughter, but that's irrelevant at the moment. Isaiah said something that was interesting to me, and I had asked somebody the same question, like a question about the comment, and he agreed with Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley said no self-respecting black man would be Captain America. And Sam gave a face like he totally understood that. But he almost looked like he wanted to politely disagree, because I think he feels like he could be a great Captain America. But no one can blame Isaiah Bradley for his views on that symbol. I don't think anybody, I would want to become Captain America to try to help the people that I feel would need the most help. But I wouldn't want to be regulated either, because then you're telling me who to help and how's that process being considered. And eventually, when does it start becoming a self-serving thing? It gets cloudy when it comes to these type of things, and unfortunately, they all ended up dying anyway. His fellow test subjects, if you would call them, his friends. His friends ended up dying anyway. And they showed a big scar, like a hand on his side, and it just was a heartbreaking thing. I heard some people be upset about not maybe seeing a flashback of Isaiah Bradley as Captain America, but I like to save that for right now until we can maybe get like a little movie or a show off of that. I think the payoff should be in the show or something. So Sam decides to call his sister and go back to the boat to try to work on the boat. He brings the shield with him. In the meantime, the sister and Sam talk about doing what's best for the family and the legacy, and that means keeping the boat and fixing it up to continue the legacy that their parents made, and to live up to the legacy of that shield and maybe become Captain America. Meanwhile, Bucky does come across Zemo at the Sokovia Memorial. That was referenced, I believe, in episode 3, where Zemo is paying tribute to his family and fellow countrymen who died in the Age of Ultron. Bucky confronts him. Zemo's like, you took longer than I thought you were going to take. Ha ha ha. And basically, they get into a conversation about Zemo removing himself from the book so he can do whatever he needs to do. Bucky pretends to shoot Zemo and then just scatters the bullets on the ground that we've seen in the trailer. He allows the Dora Milaje to bring him to the raft, which is kind of just an easy way of setting up a possible Thunderbolts series or show or movie. Because why wouldn't the Dora Milaje bring him to Wakanda and make sure that he stayed in Wakanda when he already escaped a high tech facility in Germany or wherever he was initially, Berlin, what have you. So Bucky then asked them for one more favor, because they let him know, like, you kind of basically you kind of fucked up a little bit, so don't call us for any help right now, we'll call you for the help. And Bucky was like, I understand, like, I won't bother you guys for right now, but he asks for one more favor, and then he shows up at Sam's boat. But I'm gonna hold off on talking about that right at the moment till I do my second video. Alright, part 2 back on Tully Television. Get the merch, check it out. Back in episode 5, part 2 of the review, that we're putting it together. Where I left off was where Bucky showed up to Sam and Sarah's home, their family home, with the favor he asked from the dorm Melage, and it looked like possibly Falcon's new costume. That's probably gonna benefit him with carrying the shield and perhaps looking more like maybe Captain America, or maybe a totally different look that we're not expecting, or maybe a combination of both. It's going to be an interesting look because he did the little tease at the end where he opens it but they don't show you inside, much like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. We never really get to see what's inside of it, but everyone has their little theory about what it is. My personal theory about what's in the Pulp Fiction case is Marcellus Wallace's soul. That's my view on what's in the briefcase there. But we kind of know that with Sam's wings getting broken, it's most likely a new uniform that has some sort of vibranium technology in it, Wakanda technology in it, which will help him probably be a faster flyer, help him with defensive fighting, offensive fighting and stuff. So I'm really excited about how this is going to go as far as the new costume is concerned. We see Sam and Bucky have a classic montage scene of repairing the boat, and we see a little flirtation on Bucky's part to Sarah, and you see Sam getting a little miffed because he doesn't want anyone hitting on his sister, very protective. And so we see, like I said, the montage of them fixing the boat. Then we see Sam and Bucky training with the shield, and Sam becoming better and better each and every training session, doing his little flips and twirls in the air and catching the shield and stuff, working on the recoil action. His nephews are really excited for him, and Bucky caught them when he woke up one morning or the next morning playing with the shield like they were Avengers or superheroes or whatever, what have you. Probably more emulating their uncle in their heads, Sam. But then we have like a therapy session that Sam gives Bucky. Bucky really takes the advice to the heart and will work on what he suggested. And they separate for the time being, just because Bucky wants to catch up on a couple more leads on certain things, and we're probably going to see him do a little next episode is probably when we're going to see him confirm to the old Asian man that he killed the son that we've seen back in episode 1 or 2 of him as Wintersolider. So we're probably going to see that story arc close. And in the meantime, Torres and Sam start to talk about where Carly and the other flagsmashers could be. because we see that they have new recruits now, and she set up an attack to go against the GRC, the company that's in charge of relocating the repopulated people from the blip. Yeah, they're gonna make an attack on there because they have some people that actually work inside. We also see Sharon Carter return as well, talking to Patrick the Leaper and how she helped him previously, and she needs him to help her again. She was behind the kidnapping of that army personnel in the beginning of episode 1. She wants him to help the Flagsmashers under the guise of him killing the Falcon. Now, I don't know if she promised that. And is not going to keep up to that promise, or whose side is she really on? I think that she's definitely playing both sides, but I think that at the end of the day, she's not going to let anyone purposely kill Sam if she's around. She may know that Sam can handle himself, and that's why she's not caring about setting this scenario up. Her loyalties may be getting tested by the power broker. There's a lot of things still unanswered when it comes to Sharon Carter. I still don't think that she is the power broker. Then I want to wrap up the story thread with John Walker. He had basically court-martial. He got released from the military, no pension, no title, no nothing, and he got extremely mad and upset because he was like, "You guys made me, how can you just dispose of me like trash?" And he's out in the hallway of whatever government building he was in, courthouse or whatever, talking to his wife, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus shows up as I want to get this right. Contessa Valentina De Fonte was a character that was romantically linked to Nicholas Fury, the Caucasian Nicholas Fury. She was once known as Madam Hydra. That was the guise to subvert Hydra, and as she was working with Leviathan and S.H.I.E.L.D. This version of her, I'm not sure what is going to entail, but she gave him a business card with nothing on it, so there's got to be a secret thing to it on how to read it. She said she goes through who she is, and that she knows he took the serum. They know he doesn't have the shield. They know that the shield doesn't belong to the government specifically anyway. So there's a lot of more questions to be answered, and she could very well be the power broker herself, or be another right-hand man of the power broker, or the right-hand man, a woman of Thunderbolt Ross, and maybe she's recruiting these people like John Walker to join the Thunderbolts because to clean up their reputation. I don't know, but we'll see. And then at the very end, we see him making his own homemade Captain America shield, using the metal from the Medal of Honor, Valor medals that he would get to, stitch it together. And he, at the end, you see him roaming the streets as Captain America, because he keeps saying, "I'm Captain America, I'm Captain America." He even said in the courthouse as he was like, "I'm Captain America." And so finally Sam figures out where Carly and the Flagsmashers are going to be. Perhaps John Walker found out too where they're going to be, and I think it's gonna all accumulate in New York City at the GRC. All I know is that this final episode is gonna be, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's really gonna be a pretty awesome end. I'm curious if they're gonna have an end credit scene or mid credit scene, whatever you want to call it. And then that's it. That's the last episode. I think Carly's gonna stay alive. I think John Walker's gonna stay alive. I think that it's not gonna be the last time we see Isaiah Bradley in some form, whether it's him cast as a younger actor for a show, or his grandson making an appearance in a Young Avengers movie or something. I think that Zemo, Carly, and U.S. Agent Kid be all on the Thunderbolts together with such other criminals that were captured, like the Abomination or Ghost, or possibly the Leader. So we have a lot of possibilities of where this can go, or it could be another sector of Hydra that's trying to infiltrate the world politics again. We'll definitely see where this connects to maybe Black Widow, because Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character was supposed to be in Black Widow as well. So we're gonna see how that works out. And then the next series we're getting in 2 to 3 weeks is Loki, and I'm gonna be doing reviews on that as well. There's no Kevin Feige said there's no second season of this. It could be maybe down the road, but not planned at the moment. But the Loki series is 2 seasons. So, and like I said, that's coming in a couple weeks. The second season is probably not coming out until 2022 at least, 2023. I'll in one of my upcoming streams, I'll talk about the general gist of what the Loki series is supposed to be about. I want to thank everyone again for stopping by and subscribing. Only through you guys subscribing and sharing and commenting do we grow, guys. So let's do it, guys. Let's do it. I'll leave the link down below. Tully Television. Woo! Let's go, baby. Straight to the moon, baby.